Hello everyone, Draj here. Now today I'm going to be bringing you a RuneScape video. I'm probably going to be bringing one at least once per week due to, say, if there's like patches, updates, etc. They're usually on a Monday. So I'm going to start doing weekly updates of what they are releasing. So expect a RuneScape video every Monday or Tuesday depending on if it gets bumped back a day. But now today, they have released a what is called an achievement diary or task list. Oops, wrong area. If you go into the Viking looking helmet, you will load into your hero information. From there, you can click on achievements and then you can scroll through to the one you want to go to and look into. Today, the wilderness one was released. It's not relatively all that big of a list, which is actually kind of nice. Compared to some of the other ones. There's only 33. But before I get into that, let's actually go to their website itself. As you can see, here's a few different things you can actually look into. Uh, but make sure you always want to go to runescape.com. There is other phishing sites that will try to get your information. Just go to their main site, and they're pretty straightforward about the different things you get and how they contact you. But this achievement diary, you actually get the sword of the outfit. And as you can see here, as you get further along the task, you get more and more rewards for it. So after completing the easy tasks, and that means all of them, then you claim your reward. You can get your free teleports to the Wilderness Herb Patch and Edgeville, and it also locates the Wildy Worm. At Tier 2, the medium task, you get plus 5% XP at the Wilderness Agility course. Sword must be equipped. Improved pickpocket rates at rogues. There's a area way deep that you can get pickpocket rogues from, but it's like around level 54 Wilderness, I believe. You can also teleport to the 4 and 3 dungeon. In the hard task, you get the Air Obelisk shortcut, quick teleports to the Wilderness Lodestone, um, access to item unnoter at the Chaos Altar. Interesting to see what that is. No disease at the Wilderness Herb Patch. That'll be very useful for people who are growing them. Choice of destination at the Wilderness Obelisk. I'm not sure what that actually is. See, some of these could be new things too for the game. Chance to teleport to center of the Abyss. The sword must be equipped. So if you ever use the Abyss for rune crafting, there's a chance that you can go right into the center. And the final one, the Elite, you get one free daily teleport to the Warbands camp of your choice. Very good if you're using a Warbands person. Lava Strike Worms drop noted ashes. Sword must be equipped or in your inventory. Free teleports to the Wilderness Agility course. Improved drop rate for ancient equipment in the 4 and 3 dungeon. Team capes will now act as an Ava's device, which will be explained in another video. You can also claim rewards. Oh, this is where you claim the rewards from. Mr. X, he's in Edgeville. Mandrith, also Edgeville, but he's in the bank. A hard task is Quarkus, if I'm saying that right. He is near Edgeville and near Varrock's Grand Exchange if you've seen the Varrock tour. And then the elite ones is Culloden in the Mage Arena. So relatively good areas. There's also new things that were brought into it. Make sure this doesn't log me out. Okay. You have improved wilderness and skilling. So there's more things to actually skill in with the wilderness. There's a wisp area, which for divination, this will act as your highest possible siphon area. So if you're level 90, it'll act like a level 90 area. Chaos Altar prayer training, very useful. It gives just as much now as the house version of this, but you gotta keep in mind, while you might be able to unnote stuff if you are further along in your task, it could be very useful, but you gotta keep in mind the people who are PKers. Rogue's Castle pickpocketing. You can get the bloodweed seeds from this. There's probably also other ways of getting it. Okay, and here it actually says that pickpocketing works the same as if you were pickpocketing for fitness, which there you so many times you can get caught, and then they won't let you pickpocket anymore. But your guy keeps pickpocketing until he's caught, which is actually kind of nice. There's Slayer contracts, which actually give more XP than normal, but again, keep in mind, you're in the wilderness, people can attack you. Charming Moss, they actually give more Hunter XP, and they also give Summoning Charms. You got the Bloodweed and the new potions, which a Bloodweed you grow out there. There's a few potions. The Luck Potion, which acts as a Ring of Wealth for 60 minutes. Actually quite useful, which is tradable. You have a Camouflage Potion, which is a Bloodweed and a Black Salamander, and hides your dot on the mini-map for 60 seconds. Might not seem like a big thing, but it actually is. Because if sneaking around the wilderness is actually very useful. Aggression Potion is Bloodweed and Searing Ashes, makes all NPCs near you aggressive for 6 minutes. So that's actually quite useful. The bandits out there got improved, Muddy Chest, Magic Axe Hut. Okay, so there's not too much going on, but it's worth looking into if you're interested. Also this week, again, let's do this. There is Patch Week. Usually within the updates, there's always patchworks throughout the week. I'm not going to go through and read these all to you, but as you can see, there's actually a good deal. There's a lot of graphical. Skills, D&D, and minigames. This one I'll go through. A bank healing area has been added to the Pest Control Island Bank. Players can now empty anti-poison potions with the Demonheim. The reference to completing the Rune Mystery Quest in the Mining Skill Guide for Rune and Pure Essence has been removed. It is no longer possible repeatedly siphon augmented degrade to dust armor when it has no remaining charge. Looks like I soon got to charge my phone. The Ark is actually a recent update. There's been apparently more patches to it. But as you can see, there is quite a bit. I highly recommend actually going to their site if you are a player and reading into this. If it's something that you're not really able to get into, like stuff you're not doing already, then this really won't affect you unless it's down the road. But by then, it doesn't really affect you too much because, well, you're not going to notice the difference. But that is the updates for the week, for the patches. Like I said, please be sure to go to the actual website. But now, for the Wilderness. Now, keep in mind, the Wilderness is a pure player versus player zone. And this is where the new achievement diary is. So, when you're in Edgeville, or Varrock, or even north of Falador, all you have to do is head north. And wherever you see this big wall right here that you have to cross, what is called the Wilderness Wall, you are now in PvP territory. Well, not right away. But now as you go into the PvP zone, right up here, if you can see it in the top corner of the screen, right near my XP area, okay? Right a little bit above that, you'll see there's a skull and then a level. The further I go into the wilderness, as you can see, the higher that level gets. Now what that symbolizes is that is the difference of level that my attacker or what I can attack can be. So my guy's combat level is 138. Now all monsters out here are already aggressive. But now if you keep heading north, I'll even show you the new Wisp area, since it is relatively easy to get to. Actually, right near here is the lodestone. So if you don't have the lodestone, I highly recommend getting it. I don't know how crowded it's going to be, unless they move the lodestone, because it used to be right here. Looks like they possibly moved the lodestone. Oh, no, yeah, they did move it. Oh, no, it's right here. Okay. So the Wilderness Lodestone is right here. It's pretty well straight north of the wall, if you're going from Edgeville. But this is, you want to make sure you get the lodestone. You probably should have actually tried to get it before this update. But it's looking to be that the wilderness is actually not really that populated right now. So it's not too much of a big deal. Now, whenever I was saying about the Wisp and how they act as the most powerful Wisp, right here it is. For whatever reason, the demons and stuff here are not aggressive. But now this acts as the highest energy I can actually siphon. Which it actually gives cursed energy, so this could actually be potentially interesting. Oh, I see, you can transmute it into something else. Okay, so it's not like something major. But I'm just going to go a little bit into this. As you can see, you can do this. Now that person, for whatever reason, he thinks he's going to get a lot from this. He's not going to get anything. See, that's what I mean. You got to be careful when you do go into the wilderness. That's actually why I am on this account instead of my hardcore account, because, well, a little bit too dangerous to be taking this out there. So this account, it's not a really big issue. That guy probably thought he was going to get a lot more out of what he was going to do. But as you can see, there's a lot more to actually do out in the wilderness now. Before it was just PvP and that was it. But now you do have to keep in mind, this might actually increase PvP activity. So if you are doing this, try to keep that in mind, as players will be more out here. As you can see, I went from the lodestone, so I'm going to keep heading north, and I'm going to try to get and show you, I guess the Anku are out here. I didn't realize that. But you want to keep heading north, and actually right out this way is where that herb patch is. So as you can see, it's right there in the distance. But if you keep heading north, go a little bit northwest, and you're right at the herb patch, as you can see. So it's not really a big deal. Right there's the herb patch. There is more to do out this way. These locations right here is what is called the warbands. Currently it's inactive, and it probably won't be active for a little while. Let me see when the next warbands is. Let's see here. Wilderness Warbands. It's not for another 6 hours and 5 minutes. So I'm really not too concerned about that. There is other things you can do out in the wilderness. Another thing I'd like to show you, this is something that, it's kind of something that you can't predict where it's exactly going to take you, but if you activate one of these, and if you go into the center, There's a little bit of a delay, but it'll teleport you to another obelisk somewhere in the wilderness. This one actually took me to level 13, right by the lodestone. So, didn't really take me too far, but we'll do this again one more time. And then I'll go further into the wilderness. Okay. I'm actually right near a whole bunch of abyssal demons. That's pretty cool. That's something to actually keep in mind, and when you are here to try to pay attention to. Another change is, like, there actually is a lot of these Slayer creatures that are out here now. Another change is you want to be careful of the bandit area. As you can see, before these guys used to be no problem. They were really weak. It was no issue. But now, they're all skulled, and they are all a lot stronger than they used to be. So do keep that in mind as you come out here. You don't want to be coming out here unprepared. Another thing is, over here, as you can see, there's a lot of, it looks like there might have been some graphical improvements out here. But right there's the gargoyles, so if you head further north, you can actually can see what the wilderness is about. Now, apart from that one person attacking me, the wilderness doesn't seem to be all that more active than it used to be. But I'm going to try to get further into the wilderness. I want to get my magic spells up here. Because, well, this spell right here. If you're traveling through, it's actually quite useful to have that available. Yeah, a lot more monsters have been added to the wilderness, so keep that in mind as you're out here. A lot more Slayer monsters are out here now. You don't have to come out here to do the Slayer monsters that are out here, except for like the Wildy Worm, because its only location is here, but that was out before this update even took place. So now as you can see, my combat level is 138, and right now it is up to 47. Now occasionally you can find along these walls right here is a gate. You can actually go through this gate, and this will get you into the very final few areas of the wilderness. As you can see, the wilderness is a kind of a cool place to be, but it is a very risky place to be, so try to keep that in mind if you do plan on coming out here. It's very high risk. Only take what you're comfortable losing, and if you're bringing a Iron Man account out, please keep that in mind. Now, as there was the Wilderness Agility Arena was advertised in here, that's what this is. You'll open this gate, you'll cross up through there, go into that gate, and then you go through the course up there. There's a few more things I want to show you before I call this video to an end. There is a dungeon right here that mostly just has fire giants. Nothing too big. No, that's not the 4 and 3 dungeon. Okay, yeah. There is another dungeon out here somewhere, which is the 4 and 3, but that's not the 4 and 3 dungeon. A little bit to the northeast here. This is the Mage Arena. You don't really have to go in there normally, but right through here is the actual Mage Arena. Like, okay, if I go through these 2 webs, see, they actually try to make PvP a little bit harder to do. Well, escaping it. Because like right here, you actually have to slash these webs apart just so you can get this. But what this does is, you remember seeing about Culloden, or Clyden, or whatever his name is. He's right in here. So this is where you want to go. There's a bank in here. There's a way to get runes. Later on, you can get a mage cape through here, but you have to go through and do a few steps in order to get it. You also get a level 60 staff, magic staff through there. So keep that in mind. If you do want to get a decent staff, that is actually the place to get it, until you can get something that's even better yet. As you can see, I'm as deep in the wilderness as I can get, which is 56 and 55. So the biggest difference in level I can get is up to 56 levels, maybe 57 if I go further east. Here's a way to teleport up. somebody is up here because that web is slashed apart. But there's another way to get up here. Right there's that magic axe area. If you head down here a little bit, I'm going to hug the wall because there is a boss out this way. So I'm going to head south and I'm going to hug this wall. Mostly because I don't want to trigger the boss to come at me. Because I'm just trying to show you guys what's out here. And I have no equipment, so I'm not really going to lose anything. That guy getting a few energy, I really could care less about that. Okay, the Calgarian demons are out here now, apparently. I'm not sure what this is. This is new to me. Okay, that's actually rogues. So they brought the rogues more west into a smaller castle. Right here is another obelisk. So they did change around the layout of the wilderness a little bit. I was right, there actually was a graphical update for the wilderness. But now my question that remains is, what does that entail for the Chaos Elemental, the wilderness boss? I have actually not seen him, which I find rather disturbing, because either that means when I came through here somebody already had him killed, or I don't know. You will have to keep in mind there is a few quests that do come through the wilderness. Generally it's not a big deal, but do try to keep that in mind. And see, those Calgarian demons are very powerful. Keep that in mind as well. But the Chaos Elemental, he used to be right next to here. So he is respawning currently. Yep, there he is. Okay, he was respawning. That is the wilderness boss. Not too strong, 305, but he has certain abilities that can kind of make him a pain in the butt to fight. Just a few more things. Not too much really out here, as you can see. There is a few more skilling areas, but that'll pretty well do it for now. I'm going to let myself get killed by the Chaos Elemental, because I'd rather him kill me than somebody else. See, he can actually teleport you away from him, he can de-equip you, he can do a bunch of things to you. But I'm going to let him kill me. This way I can get back to Edgeville. But as you can see, there is some more stuff to do. You just want to keep that in mind as you are in the wilderness of other players. They can attack you out here. So do try to keep in mind, don't bring anything more than you really need to bring. I actually forgot how weak the Chaos Elemental is, because my guy is just, he has no armor and no weapon. Granted, I haven't done any damage to him. Oh, there, never mind, I have done damage to him now. So I'm actually hurting the boss a very little, but he's not doing much damage to me. More than I'm doing to him, but still, you get the point. I just want to get him to kill me so I can go back to Edgeville. But yeah, I hope you liked this video. This is a little bit into what's going to be going on now on the Monday or Tuesday videos. It's going to be about the updates for the week. So I hope you liked this video. I hope you enjoyed the updates, and thank you so much for watching. Until next time, later guys.